Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, and today let's talk about 4v4 in Destiny 2 and what that means for the game, and how that changes the game and what to expect. Now, two things before we go any further. Number one, a huge thanks to Luminosity for allowing me to post his Destiny 2 PvP gameplay on this channel. Having PvP gameplay is really important to what we're discussing today. It's very nice of him. And the second thing is, all of this is pure speculation. Of course it is, but it's important to understand what is going on a core level with Destiny 2 Crucible, regardless of the changes that happen. And changes will happen. This is an alpha build and they're going to change some things. The game is 4 months out. There's going to be a beta in between there. Changes are going to happen from feedback from the beta. It's kind of like being hyped for a sports event and it's months away, and at the bottom a little asterisk says the card is subject to change. Now in gaming, more than likely stuff is going to change. So we are used to 6v6 in Destiny. It's a chaotic 12-man showdown, one-hit melees, one-hit grenades, abilities in every single engagement that you get into. That has changed, and from what I see, the core of the game has changed from a somewhat arcade shooter to a more competitive shooter, and we're going to discuss that shift and the dynamics of that as we go on. So this is Countdown, the game mode on Midtown. It's a 4v4 game mode that has 2 charge zones or bomb sites. If you're on offense, you're trying to take the charge to a site and detonate it, and on defense, you're going to be going to these sites and defending them. It's kind of like Search and Destroy from Call of Duty. Now, we're going to talk about the game mode more in detail as we go through this and what the game mode makes you do, but for now, like many of you, I was following closely to the reveal. What players were saying, what Bungie was saying, how the Crucible has changed. They said that they built PvP with PvP players in mind, and I heard it multiple times from players that played it that it kind of felt like Halo. And Destiny has a lot of different backgrounds. It's what's beautiful about it. Destiny players are also very vocal about any type of change when their game is messed with and tinkered with. Some came from Call of Duty, some came from PC, some came from games like Skyrim. And to Destiny, it might be their first-person shooter. Myself, I grew up with Halo. LAN parties with Halo 1, Halo 2. My first online shooter was Halo 3. It had ranked 4v4 game modes, Slayer, Objective, SWAT, Snipers, all with a rank 1 through 50. There was also a social playlist that was 5v5 with most of the same game modes. Now the 5v5 wasn't ranked and it didn't take skill into the equation, you just went in there and had fun. But I can tell you confidently that Halo is some of the most fun I've ever had in gaming. From a beginning player that was casual, that wanted to be more competitive, and as a personal player with any game that I play, I like getting better at the game and understanding the game in and out. That's what's fun for me, and it's different for a lot of people. So, with my experiences with Halo, it was dominantly the only game I played for years. We can make some educated guesses. Now, it still applies to Clash or the would-be Control and other game modes that they're going to change, even though we're looking at Countdown here. I know a lot of players don't like the idea of 4v4 because they know Destiny as 6v6. Now, what's not debatable is that Bungie pioneered online console 4v4 multiplayer. They're going back to those roots. Change sits differently with people, especially Destiny players. If Destiny 1 was 4v4, we wouldn't know any different. That would just be how the game was. And say Destiny was 4v4, Destiny right now, then they announce, hey, Destiny 2 is going to be going to 6v6, we would have the same type of reaction because of the change. It's perspective and how you look at it. They did have a phrase, Destiny 2 is 4v4 across all game modes. They're going back to the core element of 4v4, and that's by far the biggest change. With 4v4, the fire teams that are formed are a little bit more intimate. 4v4 by default is more of a team-focused game. Now that fully supports the vision that they announced with community building and guided games, and I plan on having a fire team of 3 of mine and doing guided games with solo players, you guys most importantly, to teach you the game and what to do, and it'll highlight some of the things that I want to do in Destiny 2. I might stream it, I might make YouTube series out of it, but with the series, I mean, we're talking about callouts, team pushes, team shotting, old team techniques like the bait and switch, and how it's more so about holding down power positions than mindlessly running around sticking people and throwing grenades at them. You have to think about, your engagements and challenges, that you can't be alone when these things happen. The foundation is actual teamwork, and that's going to be key. As a small example, if one team has 4 just random people that are solo queuing versus a team that has 2 solo queue players and then the other 2 are teamed up. This is important. You can also think of it as an extreme, say there are 4 randoms versus a full 4 fire team. And honestly, I hope that they try to match fire teams, that if you're a team of 2, you try to match a team of 2 and so on. If you're a team of 4, you try to match full stack teams as well to make it a little bit more balanced, and solo queue players can play solo queue players. But the first example is the one that we're using. The 2 guys that are teamed up that know each other, they can dominate a full team of 4 that has little to no communication, because they're going to be working together. Again, team shotting, calling out, kind of setting up for power ammo, knowing spawns for those power weapons and paying attention. Like at the top, one of the new additions is showing that when an enemy has a super, you can start playing for that. Say the team of 2 sees that the Sentinel has his shield, he's Captain America, he's getting ready to come right at him. Well, they can make sure that one of them is going to push for the power ammo, they're going to go up to get that, so they're ready for that super. And as a last resort, one is going to be trying to be sniping when they see that Sentinel coming, and the other one as a last resort has that golden gun to take him out just to make sure. Does that make any sense? They push for the power weapons together, make sure they have it for that super, and they can team shot. They're only worrying about 4 total players and one of them having a super. A team of 2 can't do this regularly and efficiently in a 6v6 game type. It's been said that grenades and things like sticky grenades are not one-shot kills. Melees take up to 3 melees to kill someone. The abilities are universally timed. That means that the grenades that you have, you need to make them count. You can't just spam them out anymore. It's said that there's way less aim assist on your gunplay, so landing shots is going to be key. Engagements always aren't going to be starting off with grenades. With these changes, it is focused to more primary play. And again, that it's a kinetic weapon, an energy weapon, and a power weapon. The energy weapons do more damage to a super regardless of what element it is. So all these weapons have a place with your loadout. You could run scout and hand cannon for the long and short engagements. You can run scout and sidearm for the really close and quarters engagements. You can pull out that sidearm. They are focusing on these loadout compositions. 4v4 means a lot more thought in your gameplay, more teamwork by default. In theory, it means that there's going to be smaller maps. Like, I can't imagine playing 4v4 with this setup like on Widow's Court. I just can't really see that working out. So we're probably going to get smaller maps and hopefully an expansion later on for bigger game modes. But one of the most important changes is the making the shotgun, sniper, fusion, all the others power weapons. Because of Destiny 1, we were used to having 30 rounds in reserve, day 1 Destiny. Keeping that ammo, always having that sniper fed with ammo. It was chaos and many changes, many changes in between. But let's jump all the way to our end result here with our final product, Destiny 1. Special ammo is gone on death. Sidearms and Icebreaker that abuse and bypass the special ammo changes are dominantly used because they are powerful and they have always been powerful. In 6v6 and especially in Trials right now with an Icebreaker, teams spawn in, they hug sniper lanes, and then other players are waiting for special ammo drops. It's just how it's working out. These things are and always have been prolonging the game. These special ammo changes with these updates have been prolonging the game. Now you spawn in Destiny 1 and say special ammo is 17 seconds out. Well, since you're here, you might as well wait the 17 seconds, prolonging the game, because that shotgun or fusion ammo that you're getting ready to get, you're probably going to need it in your next engagement. They are powerful, and these are indeed called power weapons in Destiny 2. Gone are the days of spawning in with a sniper and immediately posting up on a lane. Gone are the days of running up in top mid and just powering through people with your shotgun. I mean, let's look at Countdown and what the game mode makes you do. You start with 0 sniper, 0 shotgun. You have a kinetic and energy weapon composed to your liking. You have abilities that are on a universal cooldown. So this game mode, you can post up, and generally on defense that's what you want to do, but there are 2 objectives to play for here. This forces players to move. You can't just sit in your spawn. I mean, let's look at the power ammo locations. One here is in the middle shop and the other one is on the low street market. These are located essentially in the middle of the map. The power weapon boxes are meant to entice players. Now, if you're in the back of the map not moving, you're giving them sniper ammo, you're giving them grenade launcher ammo, a shotgun, and they're going to handle you accordingly for not going for it. It makes you play for them. Again, a team of 3 that uses teamwork, we'll take just a regular clash mode, in theory a clash mode, will call out that there's 15 seconds left for a power ammo spawn. They will rotate to that, and there's going to be one guy on the other team saying just randomly, oh look, the ammo comes up in 15 seconds. Well, he's going to come around that corner and get mowed down and team shot by the team of 3 because it is power ammo. Now that team of 3 is probably going to have a coordinated sniper. Only one person can pick up that ammo, so you know what? There's a guy that's great with the sniper, and his role is to support and get picks. They play for that. That's what you can expect in a 4v4 scenario, in a 4v4 gameplay. It's very fun when you're doing it and building team chemistry. I mean, having those strategies going and holding down power positions as a team, bait and switching, all that. I love it personally, but what about that solo player? What about that guy that got mowed down by the power ammo when he was going for it by the team of 3? That isn't fun. It's so little fun. Like when I played Halo 3, I only played Lone Wolves exclusively, or Rumble in Destiny 1, or the 5v5 social. Which, that's why my hopes is that Destiny 2 would have Rumble, and there's no reason why they shouldn't, but I didn't have friends for a long time when I played Halo 3. I mean, I would play Rumble and the social 5v5 again, I mean, every now and then, but I refuse to go into 4v4 ranked, because again, even if they have just a fire team of 2 on the other team, those 2 guys can and would do a lot of damage together, and I didn't go into 4v4, like seriously. It's not to say that you can't do well as a solo player, solo queuing, and being the MVP on your team and getting the W, because you won't be playing against stacked teams all the time, and teams that know what they're doing every single game. And with how Destiny being 4v4 instead of 6v6, that expands the numbers of fire teams, which expands search parameters, which makes it a lot closer, makes connection become easier. For every 2 games that is played that is 6v6, that has a total of 24 players, there are 3 games played that is 4v4 with the same amount of players. That leads me to my hopes and how they follow everything up. I mean, it's pure speculation, feedback, of course. At launch, all game modes are 4v4, and I would hope that custom games and a ranked playlist is introduced in the update. Now, if ranked, I mean, obviously speculation, or some sort of competitive mode, it could be Trials of Osiris, that they keep these modes on launch there as a social playlist for an all-around game mode. And I hope that 6v6 makes its way, or even 8v8, 12v12, big team, vehicles. Nothing is set in stone, but that core 4v4 on launch, players need time to acclimate to it and see how it plays, and it gives the developers at Bungie a time to see how players are doing with it and how weapons are performing, and when ranked or trials does come out, they can make the proper adjustments to balance to make it the best it can possibly be on launch. And honestly, I can see Countdown as a main mode for Trials with what it makes you do, and we discussed what it makes you do. I mean, you play Trials right now, team of 3, they just post up, and they're spawned with icebreakers on lanes. Countdown won't let you do that. Also, 4v4 opens up game modes like a true capture the flag game mode, a game mode like Halo's Oddball, King of the Hill. The possibilities are endless. So in conclusion, the idea of 4v4 means team play is coming to Destiny. What was unscripted chaos in Destiny 1 has moved to a chess match with pawns, planning for moves in Destiny 2. There's going to be a little bit more thought in your play. A good team will take a dominant position and hold it. They will play around it and play not to give it up. And I can't wait to get into these things personally. I plan on doing solo queue strategies, 2-man strategies, 4-man fire team strategies, how to set up for these things like bait and switch and rotations, what to hold, what not to hold. I'm very excited to dive deep into these mechanics of core team play. It's what I love and what I grew up with. And Destiny has always been about adapting. We take this raw gameplay here and what we're looking at, look at its simplicity and how fun, but it's similar to the Destiny 1 beta, right? We had the Cydonia, Shingen, Calcutta, Copperhead, Jinjoku. Life was great. But then one day the last word was introduced into our lives. One day the Sunbreaker, one day the final round sniper. And one day soon, Destiny 2 is going to be in our lives, and that shift and change is coming. And I hope this video gives you guys an idea of what to expect. And I think it's going to be fun for the new player, the casual player, and the more competitive player. Each of you can confidently fill a role on a 4-man fire team for team play. You're going to find where you fit, and that's going to be glorious. And it's just learning and team building and understanding the game. If you found the video helpful, a like is always appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, we have a very chill bunch over here down in the comment section. We love talking about Destiny and overall player growth and improvement, and if you want to be a part of the community over here, you're always welcome. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, and this video is to drive community discussion. Be respectful to all opinions. Remember, someone's perception is their reality, so be open to that. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!